Malik Nabors, who apparently, and it was a stat I never looked at before this came up, was a security blanket. Now, this is coming from PFF. They said last year's 6th overall pick saw 41 targets with his quarterback under duress last season, the most for a rookie receiver since 2020. Nabors and Lab McConkey were the only rookies to be targeted more than 25 times in such situations. And Nabors also tied McConkey with 24 catches. He finished with 311 receiving yards, 16 first downs, and 4 touchdown catches. Nabors also ranked 8th in yards after the catch and yards after contact and generated the 4th best deep target rate in pressure situations. It's interesting. We talked about how like Malik Nabors was like the go-to guy. But it seems like not only is he the go-to guy, but he was the get me out of jail free card. And that's interesting because I didn't look at that part of it there. But what I thought was scary though was he tied McConkey with 24 catches in those scenarios. And Lad McConkey had 25 of the scenarios. He had 41. So 24 of 41. Doesn't take a genius to figure out that is not the best catching percentage.
Yeah.
Now, again, that's targeted. So I'm not blaming Nabors when I say that. I have to go back and look at those 41 throws to see how many of them were the quarterback's fault and how many were his fault. But
there's definitely a lot of them that were.
I'm sure some of them were nowhere near him, and that's when he was open.
Yeah.
Listen, I have no doubt that the quarterback was definitely at least part of the problem in this scenario. But it's just that's kind of a scary situation. Like 25 scenarios to get 24 catches or 41. Just a little bit difference in quarterback between the Chargers and the Giants last year. That's all. But yeah, like I said, good to see. And it's going to be interesting to see, what happens with that stat now with having veteran quarterbacks. Because again, love them or hate them, you're probably not going to see a Jackson Dart to the end of the year. You're going to have Russell Wilson. You're going to have Jameis Winston potentially in there if Russell Wilson gets hurt or somehow does a crazy thing and beat him out. You're going to see that there's a difference in the veteran quarterback who's willing to take a pass rush, maybe take a hit, and a guy like DJ last year, who quite frankly was Patrick Ramsey, David Card, whatever term you want to use, where he's hearing ghosts and footsteps and weren't even there. A guy like DeVito, who quite frankly is barely an NFL quarterback, and a guy like Drew Locke, who is just a backup and should be a backup for a reason. His best play is holding a clipboard.
Until he plays the Colts.
Yeah, that game still confuses me. It is what it is, though. Listen, in the end, if that game had not, I want people to remember this about that game. If that game didn't go the way that it went, we would have probably had Cam Ward in our team. And if Cam Ward stinks and Abdul Carter's good, we might be thanking Drew Locke later on.
Touche.
Just saying, we might be. People assume that this is a bad scenario. It might have actually worked in our favor. So, but like I said, interesting stuff to look at with Nabors. I mean, Nabors, like I said, it's weird to have a rookie be the guy relied on like that. Usually there's like a veteran guy that you look to like that. And I'm also kind of curious to see where on that list that, Wan'Dale Robinson was. He was a guy that I felt like was always the check down guy. Again, we talked about 3.8 yards per, depth of field there for him. He's the guy that people would go, okay, well, we need someone to throw the ball to. Boop. So,
Dumping to go.
Hopefully we're nowhere near this topic next year. That'd be nice.
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2 giant goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.